In our recent pandemic parenting podcast episode, our guest expert, Dr. Eric Youngstrom, compared the research process to cooking. Preparing meals is something we as parents are all too familiar with. Why do they need so many snacks? So let's stick with that analogy to break down the research process. Here's how it typically works. First, you have to come up with a hypothesis. This is like an educated guess about what's going to happen. It's like writing a recipe. If I use these ingredients and these appliances, this is what I anticipate will happen based on my past experience with cooking and what I know about combining these ingredients in this way. More and more often, researchers are now pre-registering their hypothesis, so giving the recipe to somebody else before you go into the kitchen. That way, I can't say that I'm going in to bake a casserole, and then when it doesn't come out quite the way I wanted, mash it up and claim I was trying to make beef stew all along. When your research study involves animals or human participants, you also have to get special approval. Typically, an institutional review board, or IRB, reviews your recipe to make sure that the benefits of the study outweigh the risks and that you are taking proper precautions to prevent harm and deal with any unexpected adverse events. When you do research that involves children or other vulnerable populations, they review your study in even more depth to make sure that the procedures are safe and that you're minimizing potential harm. So next, depending on the type of study, you have to make sure you have a large enough sample size. So you need enough people in your study to be able to draw credible conclusions. Then you run the experiment or launch the survey or whatever your particular cooking method might be. Once you are done collecting data, it's time to analyze the data. In our analogy, this would be like taking a bite. Did it come out the way I anticipated? If so, why is that the case? If not, then you spend time analyzing and interpreting the results to try and understand and explain why things didn't quite come out the way you expected. Finally, you write up your results. And then after all that, which is typically months or even years from the time you came up with your hypothesis to then writing up your results, it's finally time to publish or share your recipe with others. But even that can take a while because there are lots of steps involved with publishing your research, including having a panel of other scientists in your field review its quality and accuracy. So there you have it. That's why it takes so long to find out the results of a research study. But sometimes the best meals are those you smelled cooking in the kitchen all day. When done right, they're worth the wait.